The common basic concept of yin and yang is that dark cannot live without the light. While many ideas can find value within this concept, I find that when it comes to making art, this plays a huge part in how we find value in our day-to-day lives. And when it comes to keep on keeping on as an aspiring professional musician, motivation and discipline seem to have weaved their way into their own version of dark and light. I believe that it was Aristotle that said, "Virtue lies in our power, and similarly so does vice, because where it is in our power to act, it is also in our power not to act." Although this was thought to be reference to virtue, I still think that this quote holds great value when it comes to the mental battle of motivation versus discipline. As artists, we feel this unbearing pressure of needing to create. It's like an itch, and when unscratched, it can make us go mad. And within this kind of quicksand of emotion lies the tantalizing desire of motivation. And as an artist, that motivation is like the succulent apple of Eden, only if it wasn't frowned upon when eating it. This feeling is like a drug that we crave, not only to keep us going, but as artists to give us purpose in life. And one day, we go up to this tree and expect an apple, but then are left with empty stomachs. This is how I think of writer's block. And for some of us, when we go back to that tree, we expect an apple and we see an apple. But a good chunk of us as artists walk away from this tree unfed and left dissatisfied. Then when left unsatisfied, some of us wait at the tree to watch this apple grow and grow and grow, until eventually so much time has passed that they've realized that they've wasted their time on an apple that'll never get ripe. My philosophy is that within your shitty ideas lies a part of yourself that is most genuine. And being your own worst critic, it's easy to shut down your own ideas if they even slightly resemble a bad idea. This could be for a number of reasons. It could be a lack of inspiration. Maybe the idea that you're doing just isn't striking the right chord. It could be a technical fault, something that you can't control or something that you need to work through. You just don't have the ability. It might not be the sound that you're looking for. Maybe you don't know how to put the idea in context, or there's a big lack of motivation. There could be a lot of other reasons, but I really want to highlight the lack of motivation. Motivation has the power to trump all of those other reasons of lack of creativity. And that right there is the reason why motivation is such an addicting drug. We could look past or even work through some of the ideas that otherwise without motivation we wouldn't be able to do, and it would just turn us off. And despite all of those reasons that stop us from creating, we look over at these other thriving artists and ask ourselves, why didn't I think of that? That's just the thing though. No matter what your writing style is or your philosophy on writer's block, there's always going to be the common theme of discipline. This is the big separation between hobbyists and professionals. I don't believe in writer's block. This is not necessarily a happy theory because it means that as long as I have the ability and the correct project, I have to keep working. I find writing fiction difficult. This quote is from Min Jin Lee, a South Korean author. Min Jin Lee has a version of discipline that naturally relies on her ability to gain motivation. She knows that in order to write well, she might have to put the pen down and go back to the book later, even if that means she doesn't want to. She can't have motivation if she doesn't have discipline. She, among many artists, keep finding themselves coming back to this tree to keep picking the same apple over and over again. In 2018, at a songwriter panel, Ed Sheeran also talks about his process in songwriting. What I've learned about writer's block is that it doesn't really exist. If you're trying to write a song and you can't, you shouldn't try and push it. Him, as a mega pop artist, has even stated that if he can't write a song, he has to set his guitar down for at least a few weeks and get back to it later. Another artist that has a similar philosophy to Min Jin Lee as well as Ed Sheeran is John Mayer. To paraphrase what he believes that writer's block is not a failure to write, rather a failure to catch a disagreement between your inner listener and performer. Although they have the special talent to go back to this tree and get the same apple over and over again, they all understand one thing. These artists remember that they are standing in a garden. A garden that is home to many fruits of different shapes, sizes, tastes, textures, and even colors. And these are the fruits that many artists ignore when dealing with writer's block. There are many ideas that artists shoot down because it might be too bitter, too sweet, too sour, might have a weird texture, it might not taste right. They get so afraid to eat these fruits that they end up starving. All of this is to say, have some discipline. Take some time to actually listen to your bad ideas. You never know, you might actually like how they taste. Hey everybody, this is a little editor's note. I just wanted to say thanks everybody for watching. This is the most amount of work I've ever put in editing a video before. And I also wanted to say that this video is the successor to my last video, Is It Okay to Suck? So if you haven't checked it out already, please do. Outside of that, that's really all I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. See you later.